Robert Mitchum, the rugged face of post-war Hollywood, the man who embodied cool detachment and danger, was known for being tough, outspoken, and brutally honest. Throughout his career, he worked with hundreds of stars, from Marilyn Monroe to John Wayne, but behind that calm exterior was a man who rarely forgave or forgot. In an industry built on charm and diplomacy, Mitchum made it clear that there is one person in Hollywood he truly couldn't stand, someone who brought out a rare fury in the famously unflappable actor. To understand why Mitchum's hatred ran so deep, you have to understand who he was. Born in 1917 in Bridgeport, Connecticut, Robert Mitchum came from hard beginnings. His father died when he was just 2 years old, leaving his mother to raise 3 children during the Great Depression. As a young man, Mitchum was a drifter, hopping trains, getting into fights, and spending nights in jail. By the time he arrived in Hollywood in the 1940s, he already carried the scars of a life lived on the edge. When Mitchum found success, it wasn't because he played by the rules, it was because he refused to. His smoldering presence in films like Out of the Past, The Night of the Hunter, and Cape Fear made him a legend. He wasn't a polished leading man like Cary Grant or Gregory Peck. He was something darker, unpredictable, raw, and real. But beneath that tough exterior, Mitchum had one rule: he couldn't stand phonies. That's where the story begins. During the late 1950s, Mitchum crossed paths with an actor whose name still carries weight, a man whose charm and charisma made him adored by millions, but whose behind-the-scenes behavior rubbed Mitchum the wrong way. The two were set to star together in a high-profile production, and tension started the moment they met. Mitchum, who valued authenticity above all, couldn't stand the man's arrogance. He saw him as a showman, more interested in headlines than hard work. On set, their personalities clashed instantly. Mitchum's quiet professionalism and no-nonsense attitude collided with his co-star's need for attention. Crew members recalled that Mitchum often rolled his eyes between takes and muttered under his breath. The atmosphere grew so tense that producers had to schedule separate shooting days, just to keep them apart. Bob didn't like being disrespected, one crew member later said. And when he felt someone was fake, that was it. They were done in his book. The feud reached a breaking point one night after filming. The two men reportedly exchanged heated words at a private party, and Mitchum didn't hold back. In front of several witnesses, he called his co-star a coward hiding behind his charm. From that night on, Mitchum made no effort to hide his contempt. When later asked in an interview if there was anyone in Hollywood he truly disliked, he paused and gave a rare answer. "There's one. And I won't give him the pleasure of hearing his name come out of my mouth." That line became one of the most talked-about quotes of Mitchum's career. Fans speculated endlessly about who the mystery man was, and over time, most fingers pointed toward one of Hollywood's biggest names, an actor known for his ego as much as his fame. But true to his word, Mitchum never confirmed it. He carried that grudge quietly for decades, refusing to even mention the man again. In his later years, when asked about forgiveness, Mitchum just shrugged. "I don't hate many people," he said. "But when I do, I've got a good reason." Robert Mitchum's story is a rare glimpse into the darker, more honest side of old Hollywood, a time when movie stars were larger than life, but also deeply human. For Mitchum, loyalty, respect, and truth mattered more than fame. And when someone crossed that line, there was no turning back. Even decades later, the mystery of the man he despised remains unsolved, but one thing is certain: Robert Mitchum's hatred wasn't born out of jealousy or ego. It came from a place of principle. In a world built on illusion, he demanded something real. And when he didn't find it, he walked away without ever looking back.